Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So for those of you that follow me on Instagram will know that yesterday I went to the Roja Parfums event in Harrods. I was so nervous before I went, and in fact even when I was at Harrods I was so nervous. So before we went to the event, these samples were actually sent to us for each of the fragrances from the Pierre de Vel collection. So there's 15 in total, but I think in the collection you've only got about 11, 12 or 13, something like that. But they sent 15 samples to us, which is really useful because it helped us to, well, it helped me to smell them before I went to the event. Before I continue, I'm going to take you guys upstairs to the 6th floor at Harrods Salon de Parfums. Yes, Harrods is right on top of my house, so let's go upstairs, guys. I'm going to show you how it looks. Okay, so we're not in Harrods, obviously, we're back in my house. So as I said, I did want to vlog the whole experience, but I couldn't because my battery was down and also because I couldn't hold my camera up for that long. I did take lots of photos and I took like random clips of things that I thought were quite interesting, quite meaningful. So instead of showing you the videos that I took, I'm going to talk to you about my experience and I'm going to tell you what I learned from the beautiful event. So the event itself was so beautiful. It wasn't glamorous, it was nothing fancy, but it was such an honor to meet Roja himself. And as I said, I learned so much about the Pierre de Vel collection, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. So before I start talking about the Pierre de Vel collection, one thing I want to say is that all of Roja scents are absolutely smooth. I don't think they're a niche fragrance house. I think they're an ultra niche fragrance house. Like literally every single fragrance you smell is so smooth, and it doesn't matter if you smell like 10 or 15 in one go, none of them will start feeling harsh or strong on your nose. Whereas other fragrance houses, like for example, if you go to Harrods perfume hall, and the more fragrances you start smelling, the more it starts getting to you, the more you start getting a headache, even though there's nothing wrong with the scent itself, but the more you smell, the more it starts affecting you. But when you smell Roja fragrances, they don't affect you in any negative way. They are so smooth and so beautiful, and that's why I think Roja Parfums for me is an ultra niche fragrance house. It was definitely an honor to meet Roja himself. I mean, he's such a nice, sweet guy. He's so like down to earth, and despite being like the pride of the UK, for example, despite being the most respectable perfumer in the UK, he doesn't come across like full of attitude. He's very nice and very down to earth. He's very polite as well, and he's very friendly. So it was definitely an honor to meet him, and I want to thank Roja himself and the team at Harrods for holding this event in the first place. So Pierre de Vel, where did it start from? So Roja, he used to go to the south of France many times on holiday in 1 year, every year actually. So once he was there, and I'm sure he said that he found a book. There was nothing in the book to give away information on who wrote it except for the name of the author, which his name was Pierre. Velay is basically a town in the south of France, so that's where the name came from, Pierre de Velay. But each fragrance in the Pierre de Velay collection has a meaningful story or inspiration behind it. And when you look at the names, they're not really names, they're more or less numbers. They're based around numbers basically. And there's a meaning behind each number on each fragrance, if that makes sense. I'm going to start with number one. So number one was based around Roja's trips to the Middle East, and therefore it's an amber oud based scent. It's really beautiful actually. It's not too heavy on the oud, but it does give you like those light Middle Eastern vibes. The quality is really good. As I said, it's very smooth. I can't remember in too much detail what Roja said about the inspiration behind the fragrance, but I do remember him saying that it was based around his trips to the Middle East. Next was number four. So number four is based on Roja's trips to the south of France, and basically how sunny and summery it is there, how beautiful it is there. And it's called number four because the same four friends used to go on holiday to the south of France every single year. But number four from Pierre de Vel is basically inspired by those four friends, including Roja himself. So next up is number six. So number six was inspired by Roja's mother and how she taught him to follow his heart. The scent is supposed to give you a feeling of love and warmth. Next up is number 9. Number 9 has the green feel to it, but I can't remember what the inspiration, the story behind that was, because I was taking notes as he was speaking, and that one I kind of missed out on, so sorry about that. So next up was number 11. So number 11 from the Pierre de Vel collection was inspired by 2 houses that Roja lived in, which were both number 11, and they were the first 2 houses that he lived in with his partner, I think he said. So the scent number 11 is more modern and a non-shy, a head-turning statement scent. It wasn't like overly bold, but it is quite different. And a lot of people that were at the event actually liked number 11. So next up was number 16. Number 16 is a sweet temptation scent based around Turkish delight. So Roja Dove was basically trying to imagine plucking something edible from the clouds. It's not possible, but it just gives you that imaginary description. So imagine taking like something sugary and rosy and taking it from the clouds and eating it. That's where the Turkish delight came from, and that's where the inspiration behind number 16 came from. So it's a sugary, rosy, powdery, soft scent, but it's very, very smooth and it's very, very beautiful. The next up is 23. 23 is named after the first house that Roja ever purchased. It's about fabulousness and glamour. It's a red carpet, head-turning scent about laughter and glamour and just a fun-filled personality. And after that, we've got 25. So 25 is named after Roja Dove's birthday. The inspiration for 25 came from his experience sipping cocktails in the south of France as the sun is about to set. So whilst he was telling us like the inspiration and the stories behind each of these fragrances, after he was saying that, we were then going back and smelling that numbered fragrance. And literally, I forgot to tell you this. So before the event, obviously, I tried out all the fragrances in the collection, and there were some that were an instant hit with me, right? But then whilst I was at the event, and as I was hearing the stories and the inspiration behind each fragrance, and as I was going into the zone, I actually ended up liking every single scent. So next up is 47. So 47 is the year Roja's partner was born. The scent is inspired by a personal story, which is both beautiful and meaningful, but I don't want to share that obviously on social media or on YouTube, so I'm not going to disclose that. But the scent basically captures a confident character which can be felt but not shown. So the scent actually is a leathery scent with light greens and very much in touch with nature, but it does have that leathery feel to it. But yes, 47 was most definitely dedicated and inspired by Roja Dove's partner. So the next up, we've got 56. So 56 is the birth year of Roja Dove himself. So the scent contains oud, but a lot of people don't detect it. The inspiration behind 56 was from a cultural experience, Roja Dove's trip to the Middle East, and 56 basically tries to capture the fun-spirited nature of the Middle East that goes unnoticeable. So it's not something that you can't notice. It's a fun-filled, spirited scent, and it does have that touch of oud to it. The oud isn't a heavy note though, so it's quite light. So those were all of the numbered scents, and then we've got 3 scents that have names. So the next one I'm going to talk about, it's a French name and I can't pronounce it properly, so I apologize for that. But it's Les Clochettes du Bonheur Parfum. It basically means the bells of happiness in French and is based around the lily of the valley. So the scent itself is about spring joyfulness. Then after that, we've got Essence Rare, which is the most recent addition to the collection. So Essence Rare was intended to be a head-turning scent, in the sense that you haven't seen the person wearing it, but you can smell the person behind you, and it just makes you turn when you don't even know who the person is. So the Essence Rare is actually compared to like a lightning bolt, and it's described as an electrical scent, as in the electrical connection you get when you first meet someone you're somewhat attracted to. And then finally, we've got Amour. So Amour obviously means love and is based around unconditional love. It's a captivating, bewitching scent that makes you feel loved. It's a soft and gentle scent which leaves a beautiful memory for you. So all of the fragrances from the Pierre de Vel collection have a meaningful history, meaningful inspiration, meaningful story behind each fragrance, behind each number. I would say that the whole collection is based around love and family. You can clearly see that Roja's mum has been an inspiration in his life, as is his partner, and his life experiences have led to him creating beautiful scents for us. I personally like fragrances that have meaningful stories and meaningful inspirations behind them, and as I said, if somebody tells me where the inspiration came from and I go into that zone, I will start liking that fragrance because I'm in that zone. Not that it's not that the scent is my type, because obviously everyone has their preferred type of scents, but I appreciate the art behind the fragrance itself, and I think that's why I started enjoying the fragrance more. So all of the fragrances in the Pierre de Vel collection are Parfums. They have the same design presentation, so the bottles are the same, the boxes are the same. The only difference is the numbers and the colors. It takes approximately Roja Dove 6 to 18 months to create one of those fragrances. And also another thing I learned whilst I was there is that Semi Bespoke 1 was the first fragrance that Roja Dove actually created. Semi Bespoke 1 is actually a very beautiful fragrance. It was the first time, when I went the other day to Harrods, it was the first time I tried it and it was so beautiful. But I also learned from the event that Roja Parfums was created after Roja Dove's mum died, because his mum encouraged him to do something for himself. So behind each bottle that Roja Parfums creates, it says made by Roja Dove to leave a family legacy, because that's what he wants to do. And again, that's quite beautiful when you think about it. Also, another thing that I learned whilst I was there is that, you know, Salon de Parfums in Harrods, right? It wasn't the whole floor to begin with. I don't know if you've been to the Roja Perfumery on the 6th floor, but there's, I don't know if you'll see it on one of my videos as well actually, but there's like a square box type of room inside the perfumery, and that's what used to be Salon de Parfums, and that's where Roja Dove was first invited, and that's where they proposed the idea to him that they wanted to open a perfumery with him. So that's where the perfumery on the 6th floor came from, Roja Parfums Perfumery. Obviously they have their own fragrances there, but Roja Dove basically puts fragrances in his perfumery that he thinks are really, really, really beautiful, and really beautiful, and that are basically, that should be there because of their quality, because of their creation. And one of the ones that you'll find in the perfumery are Spirit of Dubai. The Spirit of Dubai is one of my favorites. I also think that they're an ultra niche brand. They are super expensive, but their fragrances again are super, super smooth. I haven't tried the first generation fragrances, but the second generation fragrances, every single one is absolutely beautiful. As I said, it's not that this every single scent is my type, because that's not possible. It's just that the creation, the art behind each fragrance is absolutely amazing. So yeah, the Roja Perfumery in Harrods basically has the Roja Parfums as well, but it's got other fragrance houses in there too that Roja Dove thinks that should be there. So then they created the perfumery for Roja Parfums, Roja Perfumery, and then that eventually extended to the whole floor. So then now you've got Roja Perfumery as soon as you enter, and then you've got like ones further down, and you've got like two on the right hand side as well. So that's how the whole Salon de Parfums 6th floor was created. Originally, it was just like that one tiny room to begin with. So I did learn a lot from the event yesterday. It was really, really good, and I'm very grateful that I was able to attend. So much that I've learned from it, and now literally my throat has gone dry from talking so much. But I hope that this video has been beneficial to you as well, and you've learned some of the stories and the inspirations behind the fragrances from the Pierre de Vel collection. I will hopefully put this up on my Instagram as well, so you can read through it, just in case you didn't understand anything I said, or if I've spoken too fast, or if my voice has kind of died out somewhere. If you do have any questions, then do drop it in the comments box below. And thank you for watching today's video, guys. And thank you to Roja Dove and Roja Parfums for holding such a beautiful event. I really, really had a lot of fun, and I really, really appreciated learning everything about the Pierre de Vel collection. So thank you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.